Hello, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. Today is Friday, April the 22nd, so hope your trading week has been well so far. Disclaimers are up there on the top left-hand side, so please read them, even if you need to pause the video to do so. And I'll just explain very quickly what the 3D market commentary is. So we do a video every day, Monday to Friday, to accompany an email that we send to our free members every day, Monday to Friday. Now, this email goes into major world markets looking at three major elements, three major statistical likelihoods per market. So we call it 3D market commentary. Now, before we get into that, just to show you where you can go for any help and support, you've got Becky at tradewithufos and support@tradewithufos.com. Those are two email addresses that you can use. There's also this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. From here, you can get different apps and platforms. You can book one-on-one coaching, and you can come down and you can find questions and answers. If you don't see the answer there that you're looking for or the question that you're looking for, you can log in for free and post it there yourself. Okay, so different places to go for different levels of support or different things that you might need. Let's now show you this email that we send out and start to go through that content. So we have, the email looks like this, and it's obviously relevant to what happens in the markets. So we'll have a chart up here as well. So the three different elements that we go through are here. The first one is market climate. That means what's the likely upcoming market direction? Is it likely to move up, down, or nowhere? So we'll figure that out using an app called AutoClimate. It's a free app on most platforms that you can get it on. And it shows us where those probabilities lie. We look at the colours of the dots and the thickness, ignore the lines for now. So a thick red dot tells us probability is down. A thick blue dot tells us probability is up, and a thin dot of either colour tells us probability is in neither direction. So we'll look at that per market. Then we'll look at buy and sell UFOs. UFO stands for unfilled orders. And what this means is, where do we have buyers waiting to buy? Where do we have sellers waiting to sell? We want to know that because buyers will likely push the price up, sellers will likely push the price down. So we want to know where they are. Where is price likely to change direction? So again, we use an app called Auto UFOs, which helps us with this. Auto UFOs shows us these little green UFOs and these little red UFOs with prices on the right-hand side. The green ones show us the buyers, the red ones show us the sellers. So we'll look at that per market as well. And then we'll look at market volatility, so how quickly we expect these markets to move. So starting with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. Now bear in mind, with each of these markets, we're looking at a daily chart. So different things happen on different time frames. For the time being, we're looking at daily time frames, daily charts here with the S&P and with all of the markets that we look at. So S&P 500, top 500 US stocks, thick red dot. So on a daily time frame today, we have probability to the downside here with the S&P. Now we also have sellers close by between 45.09 to 44.32.75, and quite a way to go before we hit buyers down here at 39.83.75 to 39.33.75. Overall probability down there for the US stock market. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 23.11%. In a day, that's 65.37 points. In a week, 143.9 points. In a month, 299.56 points. That's movement up or down that we would expect. So that's the S&P 500. Overall, for the time being, probability down. The next market is crude oil. So let's load this. Now, just to highlight up here about the different courses that we offer. We do courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, and psychology. Now, most of our courses come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. Auto Climate, which is this one, is a free app on most platforms that you can get it on. But Auto UFOs, which is this one, show us in this case, the sellers, but the buyers as well. That's a monthly subscription paid app, and it depends which platform you use as to how much it costs. You can subscribe directly to the Auto UFOs. You don't have to do a course in order to do them, but most of the time it's cheaper to do a course and get 3 months free access to the apps than it would be to just use the apps. So check that out. Okay, so crude oil. Let's squish this down here. We have a thin dot on crude oil. That tells us not enough probability either way, an undecided market with no clear probabilities in either direction. Now we have sellers up here between 115.54 to 108.68. Now price came up to them before and was pushed down. That's what we expect sellers to do, is push price down. That's why we want to know where they are. So if price were to come back up and hit these sellers, we'd expect them to push price down again. For the time being, we're a little way away. And then we've got buyers even further away between 80.47 to 77.83. So for the time being, undecided with crude oil. In terms of volatility with oil, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 49.86%. So in a day, 3.2 points. In a week, 7.05 points. And in a month, 14.68 points, either up or down. So that's crude oil. The next market is gold. So just as we load gold, just to focus down here on the coaching and support that we offer, we do a lot for free on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. We answer your questions for free. We've got loads of articles and resources that you can use. Now, we do also have a small monthly fee to access our advanced coaching. Essentially, it means you get more resources and live trading videos. So check that out. Okay, gold. Thin dot, not enough probability either way. However, we have started to see gold move to the downside. So we may see probability to the downside come maybe next week. But for today, still not sure what it's doing. We have sellers up here between 2003 to 1962.7. Again, if price were to come back up and hit those sellers, we'd expect them to push price back down. Now we have buyers here further away between 1815.8 to 1788.5. So overall, not enough probability either way on gold for now, but I'd look out on Monday to see if it confirms to the downside. Now with volatility on gold, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 day of 18.22%. In 1 year, I think I said that. So in 1 year, 18.22%. In 1 day, 22.32%. Sorry, I'm going to say that again. Let's start again. Volatility on gold. In 1 year, 18.22%. In 1 day, 22.32 points. In a week, 49.15 points. And in 1 month, 102.31 points. There we go. So that's what we would expect up or down in terms of movement on gold. The next market we have here is the US dollar. Now, just to remind you guys as I load this, that everything we're talking about is to do with probabilities, likelihoods, statistics, but it's definitely not guarantees. There's loads of different things that can happen in the markets. Lots of the time it behaves unexpectedly. We can almost expect the unexpected in these markets. So we still need to manage our risk. We still may want to add extra layers on top of this to increase our likelihoods. So just bear that in mind. So the US dollar, thick blue dot, probability upwards. Now it has been going up for a lot longer than it usually would. It would usually go up for about 5 candles. This has been going up for 14. So it has gone past, way past what is usual. So bear that in mind, slightly overextended there. We're also coming up to some sellers. Those sellers are between 103.96 to 101.555. We have buyers down here at 97.85 to 97.295. Already worked once, twice, 3 times to push price up. Again, that's why we want to know where they are, because it gives us a better idea of where price is likely to change price and change direction. So overall, with the US dollar, we still have probability up, but watch out with the sellers that are close by and with the fact that we're overextended. So overall, slight probability up here for the dollar. In terms of volatility, in 1 year, we'd expect movement up or down of 8.79%. So in a day, 0.56 points. In a week, 1.23 points. And in a month, 2.56 points. Okay, last but not least is bakkt Bitcoin. Just to highlight down here about our platform, which is called TOP. TOP stands for Traditive Options Planner. So if you're an options trader, it's especially helpful, but also really helpful because it integrates all of our apps if you're a futures, forex or stocks trader as well. So by all means, check that out. So bakkt Bitcoin, thick red dot, probability here to the downside. We have sellers up here between 47,317.5 to 44,345. I'm struggling reading numbers today. We have a little way to go before we hit some buyers down at 32,820 to 31,615. So overall, with bakkt Bitcoin, probability to the downside with quite a way to go before we'd hit either of these buyers or sellers. In terms of volatility, yearly movement of 63.21%. So in a day, up or down by more or less 1,600 points. In a week, up or down of more or less 3,500 points. And in a month, up or down of more or less 7,300 points, up or down. So that's bakkt Bitcoin. We've now looked at each of our 5 major world markets, and for each of the markets, we've looked at 3 major elements. Market climate, where we can expect it to go, up, down, or nowhere, using autoclimate. Buy and sell UFOs, where do we find buyers that could push price up, or sellers that could push price down, and volatility, how quickly we expect these markets to move. Now, the last thing to be aware of before we wrap up is our weekly economic calendar, which we get from fxstreet.com. We filter by high impact news. We do that because we want to know which scheduled news reports are likely to increase volatility on the markets that we trade. An increase of volatility could increase our risk, could also increase our reward, depends which side you're on, but we want to be aware of it as traders. So today being Friday, we've already had some news out that would have affected European markets and British markets, including the euro and the pound. So we have news that's just about coming out now that could affect Canadian markets or the Canadian dollar. News in a little while, a couple of hours' time, that could further affect the pound or British markets. And then we have around 5 p.m. Eastern some news. Oh, that's when a National Sovereignty and Children's Day starts in Turkey. So if you trade in those markets, of course, you might notice that the markets are closed. So any questions, you can email me, Becky@traditive.com. You can also go to tradewithufos.com/Becky to get apps and platforms, book one-on-one coaching if you'd like to, or you can scroll down, log in for free and ask a question here. Other than that, I will wish you a great rest of your trading week, a great end to your trading week, a great weekend ahead, and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.